GreenRoc Strategic Materials is focused on the development of critical mineral projects in Greenland, specifically its Amitsoq graphite mine in the south of the country. As we approach the start of a new calendar year to talk about past achievements and future milestones, I'm delighted to be joined by the Chief Executive, Stefan Bernstein. And Stefan, remind viewers who are seeing you and I working together for the first time, what were the objectives for the year and have you achieved the milestones that you set out to do?
We had three main objectives when we started 2024. The first one was to submit our application for exploitation license, collect all the details and formulate the project description, have it translated, approved by the government, and then finally the whole package submitted. And that was achieved September this year. It was a little bit later than anticipated, but things take time. So we're quite pleased with that. The second major point was demonstrating that the graphite active anode material that we can produce from Amitsoq graphite mine is also of a quality that allows it to work as in battery setup. And to that end, we tested with Graphite in Germany, graphite extracted from Amitsoq in a battery cell and showed it performed very well. And the third relates a bit to that, namely that we set out to conduct a pre-feasibility study of an active anode materials plant. So that was a main objective for the latter part of last year and the first half of this year, and we concluded, with a PFS report this spring, early summer. And it showed that it was a very profitable undertaking. It is technically feasible. And we now understand what it takes to set up such a plant and conduct that part of the business.
So profitable is a key word there. But in addition to the quality milestones achieved, what unexpected successes has the business enjoyed?
I think mainly probably on the sort of political side, because when we entered last year, we knew of the Mineral Security Partnership, which is a US-led coalition, so to speak, of the EU countries and 14 other countries, including the US, Canada, Norway, South Korea, Japan, and so forth. Set up to diversify the supply of critical raw materials. And we have entered a series of meetings, presented at several meetings with the Mineral Security Partnership, and is now a recognized project under the Mineral Security Partnership. So that was a kind of unexpected. It's very pleasing, of course, that we're now recognized by these major economies as a potential supplier of graphite. Also, to that end, the conclusion of the PFS for the active anode materials plant put us in a position where we're speaking with OEMs and battery producers, have been for the past couple of years. But it resulted now also in us signing a memorandum of understanding with Morrow Batteries in Southern Norway, so we together can develop batteries and our part of the business, namely the anode part, to achieve the business quality that they need.
You and I had an extensive conversation about the Memorandum of Understanding, and viewers can go back and have a look at our conversation about that, which was significant and one of the unexpected surprises. But if I can move you on to balance our conversation, Stefan, what about the challenges that you have been confronted with in 2024?
Yeah, so I think one of the main challenges is, of course, that the capital market is very, very slow at the moment. Being a pre-production company, it's really required that we raise the capital that we need to progress with the projects. Well, I mean, the share price at the moment, the market cap that we have, does not really allow for like major capital raisings at the market. But I think we can say that we have accomplished a lot with the relatively modest amount of cash that we have been raising. So one of the challenges, of course, to make that capital available. So to that end, we are working, of course, now with locating, identifying a business partner, and also working with a variety of options for public financing, such as grants or loans through the public. We were quite successful last year that we attracted a £250,000 grant from the Automotive Transformation Fund that was used for conducting the pre-feasibility study. And we are quite confident that we can attract further such funding.
So let's put your company within a broader context of the industry, the sector as a whole. What's the bigger picture in terms of the industry? What's the need, the availability, the buyers, the excitement, the interest in the sector?
Well, again, as you usually say, without graphite, there are no lithium batteries. And without lithium batteries, there will be no electric cars, no energy transition. So it's in the core of the energy transition and modern society altogether, with mobile phones, everything that runs on batteries. Of course, the major driver has been and still is the rollout of electric vehicles with customers worldwide. We see a lot of news today that the car sales has been slowing down, and that's true for Europe. It's not growing as fast as it has been, but the global EV sales have actually rose more than 30% over the past year, and in China it's more than 50% increase in sales since last year. So there's a huge and still growing demand for graphite in the coming decades. I'll also add to that in addition to EV batteries, there's also a big need for graphite for batteries for electric storage systems, which are being used, for instance, for solar farms and other energy sources, and also for the defense industry. So I can see that analysts agree that the coming decade will see a very robust and growing market for the lithium batteries, and therefore for graphite.
So with such a favourable background, what is the plan for 2025? What are the targets for GreenRoc Strategic Materials?
Right. So above all, we need to attract the capital to drive our two businesses forward, prepare for the pre-feasibility for the Amitsoq mine and start the pre-feasibility study, and then establish a pilot active anode materials plant in Norway. We also like to collect a large bulk sample at Amitsoq, process it, so we have a lot of Amitsoq graphite to work with, and then we need to build further our relationship in Greenland and in Norway, lay the foundation for our growing businesses there.
So that's the ambition, but let's talk about the realistic news flow that we might expect to hear. So in the first quarter of 2025, what are you hoping that you will have been able to share with investors?
Right. First of all, we are expecting that we will achieve our exploitation license first half of 2025. We have the project description and the translation approved now, so we're just waiting for the processing, the pre-consultation, and so forth. Then we are also expecting to become a strategic project under the EU's Critical Raw Materials Act, which will in turn provide some kind of access to financing. I think we will build, of course, on the memorandum of understanding with Morrow and possibly also enter other agreements with other offtakers. And we'll to that end also increase our presence in Norway. We are presently establishing a new company, Norgraph, which is a Norwegian company, and engage further with the Norwegian battery industry. And then, I strongly believe that we will be able to secure the financing for the pre-feasibility study for Amitsoq and also the active anode materials pilot plant in Norway.
Stefan, thank you. And I certainly look forward to engaging with you further in 2025. Certainly enjoyed our conversations this year. Much more to come. Stefan Bernstein, Chief Executive of GreenRoc Strategic Materials. Thank you very much indeed for joining us this year.
Thanks, Sarah. It's been a pleasure.